Hello everyone, I am Abby Brown and today I am going to be presenting you with some challenges that influence effective communication while working with multicultural and diverse international teams. We are going to address these issues and help improve communication among cross-cultural teams. Make sure you pay attention to these details as your team is working with suppliers and employees from Saudi Arabia, China, and Germany, because understanding these cultural distinctions will help set you all up for success. Major challenge of cross-cultural communication is the language barrier. So even when a group of people speak the same language, there can always be some range of misinterpretations. That can be from small differences in the meaning of words or dialects. In Saudi Arabia and China, people prefer more indirect speech in the workforce. So an example of that is, I noticed a few errors on this report. Could you please fix it? Whereas in Germany, direct speech is more preferred. And an example of that would be, the report has mistakes. Could you fix it? Understanding the difference in preferable communication styles helps communicate better with each culture. Another view to deal with is time. Germany and China society strongly prefer being on time for work, whereas Saudi Arabia tends to take a more relaxed approach to that. Other challenges that communication is faced with are cultural misunderstandings, body language, and prejudices and biases. Cultural misunderstandings come from stereotypes and assumptions among cultures. Body language is an example of nonverbal communication that can be taken differently among different cultures. Conscious or unconscious prejudices and biases are stereotypes that can affect communication. An example of a cultural prejudice or bias in the workplace is if a supervisor assumes an employee from a different cultural background is unable to perform their job or work with a team because they may not understand the language. Overcome the challenges of cultural communication barriers is to encourage cultural sensitivity by education, training, becoming an active listener, change your communication style, encourage open feedback, and the use of visual aids. The training involves educating the staff on cultural differences. Being an active listener is giving someone your full attention and to learn to wait before answering. When you modify your communication style, you are changing the method of communication based on the culture of the person who is receiving the information. Being open to feedback is extremely important in order to receive clear communication. Nonverbal communication methods are ways to communicate that play a significant role in international communication. Facial expressions, hand gestures, and even posture and eye movements can all influence communication because they have a varying degree of interpretation across cultures. An example of nonverbal communication in the workforce is eye contact. In Saudi Arabia and Germany, maintaining eye contact in the workforce is considered polite and respectful, while in China it can be perceived as challenging or disrespectful. There are many cultural differences that affect communication. Language and nonverbal differences, time perception, uncertainty avoidance, and power distance are just a few to mention. Time perception is how various cultures perceive and manage their time. For example, Germany and China are more of a monochromatic culture where they appreciate punctuality, and Saudi Arabia is more of a polychronic culture where punctuality is more relaxed. Being open-minded and patient are key characteristics to communicate effectively. Being respectful to others' cultures and asking questions of clarification is important to understand and be sensitive to other cultures. Practicing inclusivity, sensitivity, and viewing various ideas and practices from different perspectives are all strategies that can help when trying to adapt to communicating within various cultures. Learning to adapt to each circumstance per culture provides more effective and clear communication within work teams. Communication that can break cultural barriers is important in international business. Cross-cultural communication is important because it fosters innovation by providing diverse perspectives. It encourages collaboration by allowing team members to respect each other and their backgrounds and perspectives. If members of the workforce are trained and educated on cultural communication, there tends to be less misunderstandings as they understand the difference among cultures. Being able to accept cultural differences allows for more creativity, cooperation, and freedom within work teams. When we decide to focus on learning and changing our behaviors to understand the cultures of others, we will establish more successful business relationships with our international teams and partners.